What's up, everybody? Head coach Robert Gray here with Victor Performance. We're going over our phase 4, week 1, day 3 strength and conditioning workout. So we're starting with our dynamic warm-up and then going into mobility and activation 1. Okay, those are on your PDF or on YouTube. From there, we're into power, core, and balance for today. So we're going to start with a split stance, switch, lift. Okay, so this is a similar drill to our switch split jerk that we've been doing the past few weeks, okay, or past couple phases, really. So we're going to hold on to a light object. I'm going to use a big plate. Really anything 10 pounds or less is going to be appropriate here. Speed, coordination, stability, those are really our focus, not necessarily how much weight we're moving on each rep, okay, or with each set. So I'm going to start in a split stance. Okay, and I've got my left leg forward, so I'm going to hold the weight to the outside of my left hip. Okay, then from here in one motion, I'm going to switch and punch the weight out overhead as my feet switch positions. Okay, so here's our drill. Okay, so I'll complete 4 on one side before getting into 4 on the other side. So you guys saw there a little stumble on that first rep, so now I'll have to adjust my speed accordingly to make sure control is my top priority. Okay, so I've got 4 on each side there before going into side plank hitchhikers. So this is just a movement variation off of our traditional side plank. So I'm going to hold a very light weight, maybe no weight, maybe 1 pound, 2 pounds. I'm going to hold a 5-pound weight here. As with all side plank movements, if we need to have our bottom knee on the ground to make it a bit easier or to increase our chance of success, that's okay. So I'm going to get into a straight leg side plank and hold the weight up straight to the ceiling. From here, I'm going to slowly lower down until I get to even or parallel to the ground before bringing the weight back up. Okay, slow, controlled movement on that is the top priority. After we complete 10 reps of that hitchhiker on each side, our final movement for our power, core, and balance is a single leg overhead lateral step up. So this drill, again, a lightweight, really all 3 of these movements. We're not looking for any real heavy weight here, but we are looking for a high level of internal tensioning in our own body, right? Okay, so I'm going to hold this light weight in my right hand overhead. My right leg is going to be stepping up onto this platform into a single leg balance. I'm going to hold for 3 before coming back down. The quicker you drive up, the more of a challenge it will be to find some stability or to balance at the top. Okay? So if the variation that you do or the weight you choose or the height of the platform you choose feels too easy, the way we're going to progress this is again by adding speed to the way up, but then also by increasing the height of our platform. I really don't want you guys to go much heavier than like 8 pounds on that lateral step up. You'll see pretty early on how challenging just a little bit of weight is when it's overhead. Okay, so once you complete your 3 rounds of your power, core, and balance, you're into your conditioning for today. Today's conditioning is 5 400-meter runs or 2-minute runs. Okay, so if you don't have a 400-meter spot blocked out or you don't want to go to the track, that's okay. We can just estimate it with a 2-minute run, okay? However long your 400 meter takes you, you're going to rest twice as long as that. So if it takes you a minute and a half, you're going to rest 3 minutes before starting your next interval. If you're doing the 2 minutes on, or the 2 minute interval without a change in distance, then, or excuse me, in duration, then you're just going to go 2 minutes on, 4 minutes off until you complete 5 intervals. Okay. We need to increase our intensity across our 5 sets, meaning that our 5th interval is either our fastest 400 meter time or we cover the most distance in our 2 minutes. Okay. And then again, once you finish your 5 intervals of the conditioning, we're into mobility for the day. Our first mobility drill is our Samson stretch. Okay, so that's going to have us in our split stance, fingers interlocked overhead. And lunge, swoop the legs, lunge, swoop the hands, keeping the legs relatively straight. Okay, we're going to do 5 of those on each side. Remember that after you swoop your hands and you come up to the other side, it's important to take a moment to set your tension in this split stance before going into the split squat. Then we're into half kneeling 3D knee drive. So first one, straight ahead. Okay, just driving the knee forward, hold for a count, coming back. So we're going to do 5 here before going to a 45-degree angle and doing the same thing. And then the last one, out to 90. Okay, straight out to the side. Driving the knee past the toe. Okay, so I'll do 5 at each of those 3 points on my left leg before switching to the other. And then our final movement for our mobility finisher is supine hip internal rotation. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to take a ball, put it between our knees, and place a mini band around our feet or our ankles. Okay? The closer the mini band is to your knees, the easier this drill will be. Okay? All right, so we're laying on our back. Knees are bent and they're directly over our hips. And then from here, I'm going to drive my feet apart slowly, hold for a count, and then come back in. Okay, if you do this right, you're probably going to start to cramp in the front of your hips in that first 2 or 3 reps. Okay? All right, guys, once you finish your supine hip internal rotation, you are all done with day 3. Good job.